Ashwood Manor stood on a windswept hill, a Victorian mansion with secrets in its walls. Its gables were like pointed fingers against the stormy sky. The windows, dark and empty, stared out like the eyes of a watchful owl. Locals whispered of cold spots and ghostly apparitions. They told tales of a young woman who roamed the halls, her heart heavy with a sorrow that death could not erase. The house had stood empty for decades, a testament to a tragic past. Its paint peeled, a slow decay clinging to its once grand facade. The iron gates, rusted and overgrown with ivy, seemed to whisper a warning to those who dared to approach. Ashwood Manor was more than just an abandoned house. It was a vessel of forgotten memories. It held the echoes of laughter and love, but also the chilling remnants of heartbreak and despair. Many had tried to uncover the truth behind the manor's haunting, but the house guarded its secrets closely. It was as if the very stones held their breath, waiting for the day when the truth would finally be revealed. Elizabeth Ashwood had been a beautiful young woman full of life and laughter. Her portrait still hung in the manor's grand hall. It depicted a girl on the cusp of womanhood, her eyes sparkling with intelligence and a hint of mischief. But Elizabeth's life had been tragically cut short. She had fallen deeply in love with a young man named William, a love forbidden by her family's strict social standing. William was considered unsuitable, a stain on their reputation. Their love was a secret affair, hidden within the shadowy corners of Ashwood Manor. They exchanged whispered promises under the cover of night, their hearts entwined despite the looming threat of discovery. One moonlit night, Elizabeth and William made a pact. They would run away together, escaping the suffocating constraints of their families' and society's expectations. They planned to meet at the old oak tree at the edge of the estate, a silent sentinel to their forbidden love. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. Elizabeth waited beneath the oak's gnarled branches. The wind whispered through the leaves, carrying the scent of rain and the promise of freedom. William, however, never came. News spread quickly through the small town. William had been found dead at the bottom of a ravine, a tragic accident, or so they said. Elizabeth, heartbroken and shattered, refused to believe it. She clung to the memory of their love, convinced that William would never leave her side. Her family, blinded by their grief and their own guilt, dismissed her claims as madness. They confined her to the manor, her sorrow echoing through the empty halls. Elizabeth became a recluse, her spirit slowly unraveling within the confines of her gilded cage. Section 5, The Lady in White. Then Elizabeth disappeared, vanished without a trace. Some whispered that she couldn't bear the pain and took her own life. Others believed she had finally found a way to reunite with her beloved William. Whatever the truth, Elizabeth was never seen again. But her presence lingered. People claimed to see a solitary figure in white wandering the halls of Ashwood Manor. The mournful strains of a piano drifted from the dusty music room. Whispers and cold spots followed visitors like unseen shadows. Section 6. Secrets in the Silence. Years later, a group of friends drawn by the manor's eerie reputation decided to investigate. There was Rachel, the skeptic, Tom, the thrill-seeker, and Sarah, the sensitive one, drawn to the sadness that clung to the house like cobwebs. As they stepped inside Ashwood Manor, a palpable chill settled over them. The air was thick with the weight of forgotten memories and unspoken sorrows. Dust motes danced in the faint rays of sunlight that pierced the boarded-up windows. Section 7, Elizabeth's Untold Story. They explored the darkened rooms, each one a testament to a life interrupted. In the music room, sheet music lay scattered on the floor, the faded ink hinting at waltzes never danced. In the library, a book lay open on a table as if someone had just been reading. Deep in the basement, hidden behind a wall of crumbling stone, they discovered a small wooden chest. Inside, nestled amongst yellowed lace and dried flowers, lay a leather-bound journal. It was Elizabeth's diary, a chronicle of her love for William and her growing despair. Section 8. A Song of Sorrow. As they carefully turned the brittle pages, Elizabeth's words seemed to come alive. Her longing for freedom, her frustration with her family's suffocating control, and her unwavering love for William resonated through the years. Sarah sat down at the dusty piano, her fingers tracing the keys. A haunting melody filled the silence, a song of love, loss, and longing. It was as if Elizabeth herself was pouring her heart out through the music. Section 9. A Gesture of Remembrance. Touched by Elizabeth's story, the friends decided to honor her memory. They cleaned and restored her grave, placing fresh flowers and a small plaque that read, "Elizabeth Ashwood, beloved daughter, true love, free spirit." They returned to the manor and, using Elizabeth's diary as a guide, restored the music room to its former glory. They tuned the piano and placed a vase of lilies on top, Elizabeth's favorite flower. Section 10. Finding Peace at Ashwood. The change in Ashwood Manor was palpable. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, replaced by a sense of peace and tranquility. The ghostly apparitions ceased, the whispers faded, and the music room was filled with the sweet sound of music once more. Word spread throughout the town about the friends' discovery and their efforts to honor Elizabeth. People began to see her not as a ghost, but as a young woman who had been denied her chance at happiness. The haunting of Ashwood Manor had ended, replaced by a sense of peace and the enduring power of love and remembrance.